people moving to another country for 7 years until the debt is absolved. We have treaties with other countries. There's a lot of urban myth out there about how to avoid your debts. Most of it's bullshit, to be honest. Let's say that you had a $20,000 ANZ credit card and you think, fuck 'em, I've got this credit card so I can go overseas. And you're overseas and you decide you're going to stay overseas and never pay it back. ANZ probably doesn't want to just throw away 20 grand. So what they'll do is they'll send letters to your last known address saying you got to pay. They'll try and ring you on your mobile phone and try and contact you. After a certain period of time, they'll say that, okay, well, you've not paid the bill. You have to send a default. So they'll default you at your last known address. And then they'll probably sell the debt to a debt collector. And if they don't sell it to a debt collector, it doesn't make any difference. It's the same process. Then they'll probably try and look for you. They'll probably put a watch on your credit file and see if you're making any applications or else to try and find out if you're still credit active. Then they'll probably, for 20 grand, file a claimant statement of claim in the local court and seek to have default judgment entered against you. So let's say that you've now had a default on your credit file for 5 years. Before the 6th year from the last time you made a payment on the debt, they'll file a claimant statement of claim in the magistrate's court, which means that the 6 years of limitation period before the debt's stat barred now means that they have actually taken action within that 6 years to chase you. Even though they haven't found you, you haven't paid anything on the debt, because they've filed a claimant statement of claim in the magistrate's court, even if they can't serve you yet, the time is put on hold. And depending on the state you're in, they don't even have to know where you live, because all they're required to do is to send it to your last known address. In Queensland, for instance, it's personal service. It's a little bit harder. But in New South Wales, as an example, they just have to send the claim and statement of claim by mail to your last known address. That is then deemed served. That means you don't know about it because you're still overseas. They file the records. You don't respond. At the end of the 21 or 28 days, depending on the jurisdiction, they don't have a defence filed. They apply to the court for default judgment. That is judgment entered by the court in default of you not filing a defence. And it's deemed that you didn't file a defence. You must agree with the matter. Therefore, they're just going to get judgment entered against you. So instantly, that goes in your credit file, and that'll then have been haunting you for almost 6 years, and then another 12 to 15 years on top of that, which means you're looking at 18 to 21 years this debt's hanging around for. It's a bloody long time just not to pay your bill. And the implications, like I was saying earlier, if they get default judgment, and let's say you do come back to the country, think, oh, it's been 7 years, I'm sweet. It's not 7 anyway, it's 6. You think, I'm sweet, come back, you then go and apply for something, you've got this judgment in your credit file, think, what the fuck? As soon as you've applied for something that's alerted them also that you exist again, then they start chasing you. And they can go back to court for enforcement orders. They can take money out of your Centrelink, whatever payments you're getting. They can take money, they can apply to have a garnishee order to take money out of your bank accounts from your salary, your wages. They can find you and physically come with a sheriff, pick up your shit and take it to sell it. There are rules around what they can and can't do, but that's it in a nutshell. So just trying to do that just to avoid your bills, probably not the best strategy for long-term wealth creation.